So we'll take an advanced approach with this lesson and we'll work it out in the key of G flat. Let's get started. So we'll start on our 4. Okay, now we can do a couple of things, and that is, while we're on our 4, we could start here. All right, so we're basically just playing a B major chord. Left hand is B, E flat, and G flat. In the right hand, we're not necessarily playing the full chord because we want to insert this line. Okay, so being E flat, what we can do is just roll off the D flat to E flat, like so. F, G flat, and we move to our 3. All right, now we can either play the single note of B flat in the left hand, or we can add the G flat. So then you have, all right, and that same, all right, so A flat, D flat, and the movement there at the top, and then our 2. Okay, we can add the E flat in left hand, so we got A flat and E flat. Right hand is G flat and B, and we're still playing that F to G flat. Now the walk up, 1, 2, 3, 4, we can do a couple of things. The 1, we can play your G flat. It's kind of a G flat major. We could play it that way. Okay. All right, or if we want to condense the chord or break the chord up, all right, then we can play it this way. All right, so your G flat and D flat left hand, and just your G flat, and you roll off your A flat to B flat. So we walk up from our 1, 1, 2, 3, and we go back to that 4. Okay, same chord, but now we want to add then we'll go to our 5. All right, so once we get to our 4, the walk up from the 1, remember we did your G flat major. Now you can also insert or add your F, so it's like, okay, so your 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is what we call the flat 5. So you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we're going to drop back a half step to C. That's what we call the flat 5. So we'll play a C minor in the left hand, C, E flat, and G in the right hand. Play a B flat major, B flat, D, and F. So now we have a 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so that's F and E flat left hand. The right hand, let's play, we'll do a couple of things, either your A, E flat, and G flat, or let's add the D flat. Okay, and then 3. All right, so this is what we call the flat 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We drop back a half step to D. All right, and then we play D, G flat left hand, C, E, and A flat. And then we want to stab on the 5. Okay. And so he highlighted that B flat. So what we're doing is just playing this chord on the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, and you can play it this way. So a cluster chord in the left hand, G flat, B flat, B, E flat, and the right hand is D flat, G flat, and B flat. All right, or you could just highlight that note. Now, those of you playing key bass, you can play the same right hand chords. So you're just focused on B, and it's obviously important that you utilize the sustain pedal appropriately, especially, well, it depends on the setup. If you're splitting your keyboard, that's one thing. If you have a 2-tier setup, then that's another thing. So that just depends. All right, but you're basically playing the same chords. Focus on your 4, 3, 2, and then your 1. C, F, B flat, and then your D. And then for those of you playing key bass, perhaps you can play this B major 7. Okay, B, E flat, G flat, and B flat over your 5. All right, so we're starting on this 1. All right, and basically what we want to do is just sort of walk down like a half step. Your 1. All right. And we can play the same F major chord in the left hand. All right, and we're just going to highlight the F. All right. All right, so again, and you can sort of be creative by playing on that 7. Okay, your flat 7. Obviously, if you play in different positions, all right, you have the ability to do different things. Like if you play here, all right, you can play your G flat and E flat. If you play up here, well, this chord is taking up the E flat, so you're sort of resting on that 1. All right, here's another way to just kind of approach that. All right. Here we are on the flat 7, okay, your E flat, E, A flat, B, and then, so here's a chord that we play over the 1. Your 1 is G flat, so our left hand is E, B flat, and E flat, and we can just highlight a note like B flat, okay, and you'll notice a lot of rolling from one note upwards to another, so we're hitting 2 notes, 1, 2, to get to our primary, okay? All right. So now we're on our 4, okay? Your 3. All right, here's a chord that's a little bit different. On your 2, so let's play A flat and G flat left hand. C and F, we can also add the A flat, okay? Or remember this chord on the 5, same chord on the 5. But it really just depends on the 2. If you really want that F to be emphasized more, then obviously you'll just play a 2-finger chord. And I'm rolling up from that E flat. And then we can start again.